Spider webs look fragile. One wrong touch, and they disappear. But what if that's completely wrong? What if a spider web can hold far more weight than we ever imagined? Spider webs are everywhere, yet we almost never think about them. We walk through them, wipe them away, and assume they're weak. But spiders rely on these structures to survive. Every meal, every escape, every successful hunt depends on silk that looks delicate, but might be anything but. So I wanted to find out the truth. Not with lab equipment or theories, but by testing real spider webs with real objects. Not just insects, but everyday items, pens, money, water bottles. And to do that properly, I needed the spider that produces some of the strongest silk on Earth. The golden silk orb weaver. These spiders are famous for their web strength. Their silk has been studied by scientists and engineers for decades because of its remarkable tensile strength and elasticity. There have even been military-funded studies exploring whether spider silk properties could inspire advanced protective materials, not because it's bulletproof on its own, but because pound for pound, it can rival steel in strength under tension. So I released one of these spiders into a massive enclosure with anchor points along the walls, giving it the freedom to build a large web. These spiders don't rush. In captivity, they can take days or even weeks to feel comfortable enough to spin something substantial. While I was waiting for our master weaver to get to work, I decided to answer another question. What is the most aggressive ambush spider? Meet the trapdoor spider. They are among the most extreme ambush predators in the spider world. They don't chase prey or build visible webs. Instead, they dig burrows into the ground and line them with silk. Over time, they construct a perfectly camouflaged hinged door made from soil, silk, and debris. This door stays sealed until prey walks by. Thin silk trip lines extend outward from the entrance. When something touches them, the spider instantly knows where to strike. Watching this in real time is unsettling. The cricket never sees it coming. One moment, it's walking. The next, it's gone. There's no hesitation, no adjustment. Just pure instinct refined by millions of years of evolution. The speed and precision are incredible. It's a predator that operates from a hidden bunker, turning the ground itself into a lethal trap. As impressive as that was, another question remained. Can spiders walk on water? Most spiders would drown if they fell into water. But fishing spiders are different. Their legs are covered in tiny water-repellent hairs that trap air and distribute their weight across the surface. This allows them to stand, walk, and even hunt on water. When I placed one into a mixed land and water enclosure, it hesitated at first. Then it stepped onto the surface and moved as if it was solid ground. It's bizarre to watch. The water's surface tension acts like a thin elastic sheet that the spider glides across. These spiders don't wait for prey to land in webs. They actively hunt by sensing vibrations on the water surface. When a cricket touched the water, the spider reacted instantly, diving forward and seizing it before it could escape. They are the aquatic special forces of the spider world, turning rivers and ponds into their personal hunting grounds. Next, I wanted to find the best camouflage spider. This is the six-side sand spider, one of the most elusive spiders on Earth. It's also, based on documented research, one of the most venomous. It lives almost entirely buried beneath sand, using its legs to flick grains over its body until it disappears completely. What remains visible looks like debris, not an animal. It's an expert in invisibility. When prey passes overhead, the spider launches upward in a sudden ambush. The speed is startling. It's the kind of predator you would never notice until it's too late. The sand itself becomes its greatest weapon, hiding it from both predators and prey until the perfect moment to strike. Its patience is almost as impressive as its venom. Then came a more unusual question. Which spider is the closest thing to the real Spider-Man? Meet the spitting spider. They don't rely on webs alone. They shoot a sticky silk mixed with venom from specialized glands near their mouth. When prey approaches, the spider fires this mixture in a rapid zigzag pattern, pinning the insect in place before moving in to bite. It's precise, fast, and surprisingly effective. It's like watching a tiny superhero use web shooters to immobilize a villain. The silk venom compound hardens almost instantly, creating an inescapable trap. This is a spider that has evolved a projectile weapon, a tactic very few animals on Earth have mastered. But not all spiders are intimidating. Jumping spiders are often considered the cutest spiders in the world. They have large forward-facing eyes, expressive movements, and an intelligence that sets them apart. They look more like curious little creatures than fearsome predators. They don't use webs to catch prey. Instead, they stalk, calculate distance, and leap with incredible accuracy. Their vision is exceptional for an invertebrate, allowing them to precisely judge the distance to their target before launching themselves through the air. Despite their adorable appearance, they are still efficient hunters. When hungry, they strike quickly and decisively, proving that you don't have to be scary to be a successful predator. After exploring all of this, it was finally time to answer the original question. How much weight can a spiderweb actually hold? The golden silk orb weaver in my enclosure still hadn't built a large enough web yet. So instead, I went into nature to test real webs in the wild. Early in the morning, before wind and damage could affect them, I found several intact webs stretched between branches, glistening with dew. First, I tested what webs are designed for. Insects. A cricket rested easily on the silk, suspended without issue. That alone is impressive when you consider scale. Based on biomechanical scaling estimates, if a human could produce material with similar relative strength, it could theoretically support hundreds of pounds. Next came a lightweight object. A paper bill. With careful placement, the web held it. The silk strands stretched slightly, but showed no signs of stress. Then, a pen casing, significantly heavier. The web stretched dramatically, looking like it was about to give way at any second, but it did not break. At this point, the web was supporting the equivalent of hundreds of times the spider's body weight. According to some scaling estimates, that would be comparable to a web made by a human supporting over 1,000 pounds. This comparison is illustrative, not exact, but it highlights the remarkable strength-to-weight ratio of spider silk. Finally, I tried a water bottle. This was the real test. As I gently placed it, the silk strained to its absolute limit, and then it failed. The silk snapped, releasing everything it held. But even in failure, the result was clear. Spider silk is not weak. It is one of the most efficient natural materials ever produced. Spider webs aren't built to hold dumbbells. They're built to stop fast-moving insects without breaking, absorbing the kinetic energy of a flying bug. And they do that perfectly. Spiders may seem creepy. Some are dangerous. But they are also engineers, hunters, and survivors using tools refined over hundreds of millions of years. And the next time you walk through a spiderweb, remember this: that fragile thread once held far more than it looks like it could. Thanks for watching. If you found this fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the natural world. See you next time.